Hello everyone. Today is November 21st, 2015, and we're gonna do some coding exercise. So the question we're gonna solve today is Leetcode 227 basic calculator. The idea is like we are given an expression in the format of string, something like 3 plus 2 multiplied by 2. So the tricky part is like we need to handle the order correctly. For example, like multiplication and division needs to be calculated before addition and subtraction. And also, we need to handle white space in the expression. So if there's like white space in this, as in this example, so we need to ignore that. So the 5 divided by 2 still needs to be calculated correctly, even though there are white space inserted there. And also for divisions routing, it's route towards 0. That means like it will route towards the smaller integer part there. So for example, 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. So it will be routed to 2. 3 plus 2 equals 5. And there's no any like parentheses and any other invalid characters in the input string. So this is my solution. It's going to be time complexity will be n, and the space complexity will be constant space. So it's O of 1. So let's take an overlook at the solution. So at the beginning, I create like an internal parameter called stack. It's an Python list. And there's a helper function called push term there. So this function is gonna compute the term in the expression. So the term means like each component of like addition and subtraction there. So if there's like multiplication or division, those will be calculated first and become a term. It's taking two parameters as input. The first one is operator, the second one is value. There are only four kinds of operators: plus, minus, multiplication, and division. And if it's plus or minus, we could just append the value to the stack. And of course, if it's minus, we need to change the sign. And if it's like multiplication, then we need to pop the previous number in the stack, multiply it by the value, and then add it back to the stack. And similarly, for division, we also need to pop the last number out and perform the division, and then round it to integer, and then add back to the stack there. So the real code starts from here. So we initialize the operator to be plus and the number to be 0. And then we're gonna scan the character inside the string one by one. So if the character is one of the number, so this is like handy Python expression that we can say like a character in this string 0 to 9. And this is a way to collect the number. In the following example, I will show what this means there. But basically, if we have like number that's more than a single digit, let's say 23 or 100, it can handle those kind of like number correctly. And the second if condition is to handle like a white space characters. So if there's white space character, just skip it. And the third case is like the character. It's one of the operators, one of the four available operators. So whenever we see an operator, we're gonna push the previous number that we collect with the previous operator to the stack. And after push, we reset the operator to be the current operator, and then reset the number to be 0 for it to ready to collect the next number. And the end, because we're missing the operator, so we're gonna call push term one more time to finish the last part of the expression. And finally, we're gonna just sum the stack, and this will give us the correct answer. So now let's go over one example to showcase how the algorithm will work. In this example, the expression we're giving is 321 plus 2 multiplied by 2 minus 2 divided by 3. And initially, we set the operator to be plus and the number to be 0, and the stack here is like 0. And now we start the loop. This is the process we're gonna go through the character in the expression string one by one. Initially, we're gonna process the first 3 there. So now in this line, we're gonna collect the first number, which is 3. So previously, the initial value of num is 0. So 0 multiplied by 10 is 0. And then c equals 3. So we collect the 3 and assign it to number variable. So now num equals 3. And then we go to the second character, which is 2. Now in here, we perform this num equals num plus 10 multiplied by 10 plus int of c. Then the previous num value was 3, so this becomes 30 and plus 2, so gives us 32. And then the third character, similarly, we multiply 32 by 10, becomes 320, and then add the new character, which is 1. So right now we correctly recognize 321. And now we encounter the first operator, which is the third case in this case there. So the previous operator was plus, and then the value was 320, so that value was pushed to the stack there. And now we reinitialize the character because the current operator is plus, so we reassign plus to the operator and reset num to 0 for it to be ready to receive the next number. Now the next number it receives is 2. And then it keep going. Now it goes to the third case as well. So currently we are seeing a multiplication operator. And the 2, the previous 2 was pushed to the stack there. And now we keep going. So we collect the 2. The operator is still multiplication. And then we keep going. Now we see another operator. It's time to push multiplication and 2 into the term. So we call the function push term. The parameter is like multiplication and 2. So this would go to the multiplication case in the push term function. So we're gonna pop the 2 out of the stack and multiply 2, and this becomes 4, and then put it back to the stack. Now we finish the push term. We're gonna reset the operator to the current operator that we're seeing, which is minus, and we reset the number to 0 for it to be ready to accept the next number. And the next number is 2. Now we just record it. and then keep going until we see another operator. Now it's time to call push term again. The current operator we give is minus, and value is 2. It's gonna push this minus 2 to the stack. And we keep going. So it would set the operator to the current operator, which is division, and reset the number to be 0 for it to ready to accept the next number. And we keep going. The next number we see is 3. At this point, we've finished scanning the whole string. So we finished the for loop here, but we didn't finish the computation because the last divided by 3 was not pushed to the term there. So because there's no more operator available in the expression, we need to call this push term outside of the for loop to finish the whole computation. So this is a division, and it goes to this branch here. It's gonna push the -3, the divided by 3 to the stack. So first we need to pop the -2 out of the stack, perform the division, and then use the int function to round it to the smaller integer. And this is 0. 2 divided by 3 is 0.066, and round it to the smaller integer will be 0. And then push the value back to the stack. Finally, we're gonna compute the sum of the stack, which is 321 and 4 and 0. Now let's check the original expression. So 321 plus 2 multiplied by 2, which is 4. And then minus 2 divided by 3, this is 0. So basically it's 321 plus 4 and then minus 0. So the answer should be 325. Then we got the correct answer, and we're ready to return this value. So that's pretty much the solution. If you found this video helpful, please smash the like button. It really helps support the channel. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Subscribing also helps the algorithm recommend similar videos to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.